Majid
But
Mehman,
within
this
the
is a
system,
fight
whatever
between
can
what
be done
the
has to be
High
done
Court
by the
wants
Chief
the
Justice.
Supreme Court to say and what the Supreme Court insists it believes in. Justice Sodhi making the contention that it is too broad a comment, too sweeping a statement. Yes, there might be some cases, but those specific cases, like the case in point, the matter which came to the Supreme Court, that needs to be looked at as opposed to making such a large and making a comment with such a large canvas. Would you agree with Justice Sodhi when he says that, Majid sir?
No, Rahul, I must make one thing very clear. The expression of the Supreme Court is indeed a manifestation of deep anguish with regard to something seriously wrong with Allahabad High Court. If the complaints of apparently corrupt judges, is coming one after the other, say one, second, third, then certainly the court would be justified in making this kind of a comment. It does not mean that each and every judge of Allahabad High Court is corrupt, as Mr. Bhushan rightly says. But you see, there is a time when the seriousness of this must be appreciated, and I must say this with deep distress, that some litigant comes and tells a lawyer that a good lawyer knows the law and a successful lawyer knows the judge. This is shameful. Why such things are being thought about? Why
okay,
such
I'm coming to that, but Justice Sodhi, both Majid Mehman and Prashant Bhushan making the point that the situation has reached a level where a broad comment is warranted, that the situation is indeed very bad, and that's something that the judges need to look at. It might be uncomfortable, they might not wish to look at it, but as the Supreme Court says, it is indeed time to introspect.
See, the time that the Supreme Court says it has come to introspect, you think this time wasn't always there? Do you think the same judge who said this wasn't the Chief Justice of the Allahabad High Court? Did he not have the opportunity of cleaning up the house then? Then come to the same point that some judges are good and some are bad. The glass is either half full or half empty, that's all. But at the same time, you do not tarnish the entire judiciary in this fashion. You call for introspection. What about the Supreme Court? It also needs introspection, because introspection is always good. It's always good for everything. Now, Prashant Bhushan said 8 Chief Justices or 9 Chief Justices of India were corrupt. He is facing contempt. The Supreme Court is saying a lot of judges of the High Court are, well, not up to the mark. Well, what has it done for itself now?
That's an important point you're making, and I want to put that point to Prashant Bhushan, that you make a sweeping comment. Like you said that 8 Chief Justices were corrupt. That's something that needs to be looked at. The specifics need to be argued. The fact also is that the charge, and again I'm being very careful, the charge that is being leveled against the Allahabad High Court is in fact applicable to the other courts of this country, including, some would argue, the Supreme Court, where there are people whose sons and daughters are in fact practicing. So the uncle judge syndrome is not limited only to the Allahabad High Court in this country. It applies to all courts, including the Supreme Court. Isn't that something that Justice Kajju and the Supreme Court, sir, should also be looking at?
No, certainly the charge of uncle judge syndrome is applicable to other high courts as well, and perhaps to the Supreme Court as well. The point is that it's true that this is the state of affairs. It's also true that this is really a very minor part of a more serious malady which is afflicting the courts today, and that is of serious corruption. Now, the problem is that though everybody is aware of this problem, the judiciary in particular has been wanting to sweep it under the carpet on a mistaken belief that that is necessary to preserve public confidence in the judiciary. By sweeping these things under the carpet, they are only allowing this problem of corruption in the judiciary to fester and grow, and not address that problem.
And that's an important point you're making.
This is further undermining public confidence in the judiciary.